another round of Canadian Immigration well, what is it today? Canadian Immigration Institute magic. Wow. It's a Wednesday. It's 10 a.m. This is the first time that I'm actually broadcasting this early in the day, and maybe my mind just isn't quite wrapped around doing this so early, but I think it's really going to benefit all of you. So my hope is that this will allow people in Eastern Canada to have a better time to watch this, that it will allow people all the way across the other side of the ocean to be able to watch it in a time frame that's not quite so early. And so, so 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time is now when we're going to do these live Q&As. Ravi, welcome. We'll see how many people actually recognize that this now is the new time for the Canadian Immigration live Q&A. And it looks like there is a lot of good people who are connecting in. This is going to be different. We're changing it up now. Now this live stream is going to be not so much focused on teaching things, because I've got a whole bunch of new little videos that are going to be piling in they're designed to teach. This is a Q&A. This is where it's much more rough and tumble. I get to talk about myself. I get to talk about what I've been doing, and basically just have a conversation with you guys. And so that's what these Q&As are. Going forward, like I said, I want you to watch some new playlists on the YouTube channel. So I'm just going to flip over here, and I'm actually just going to share a quick screen with you guys so you can see this. So this is the Canadian Immigration Institute, and it's awesome. We crossed over 23,000 subscribers. So happy about this. It's just developing into something that's just amazing. I'm going to turn off my notifications here. My brother, I know he wants to talk to me right now. But this is what these are all about. It's about rough and tumble, answering questions, giving shout outs to people for tuning in, and just having some fun versus this really structured process. When you come to the YouTube channel here, you're going to see that there's going to be a number of playlists. So this is where you can actually consume the content that is just awesome and amazing. So if you're watching this live, go to the Canadian Immigration Institute YouTube channel and start checking it out. So you can see Canadian Immigration Live Q&A. This is going to evolve a little bit, because these videos right now where I have, great news for work permits when you're visiting, other information about international students, these are going to be separate little videos that are designed to give you a little bit more easy access to the information that I'm sharing. Then, as always, remember the Canadian Immigration Podcast is here, or you can go to to the actual site and listen to those. There's going to be channels dedicated to Express Entry. You can see spousal sponsorships. I have my Mark's Out of Office Adventures, and I'm actually going to share an adventure with you at the end of this video. For those who stick around after the live Q&A, I've got a little segment of a little hike that I did with my family that I want to share with you guys. And then you can see here popular uploads, past live streams. So what we're going to have, as you can see here, there's Express Entry and spousal sponsorships. Well, there's going to be study permits, there's going to be work permits, there's going to be all kinds of different playlists where it makes it a lot easier for you to search the content. So those who are watching on Facebook, come on over to YouTube and check things out. Make sure that you subscribe, click on the bell, and you'll get notified when I go live and when a new video is posted. And this is going to be the new home. Why am I doing this? Well, Facebook, you were good to me. You were a past girlfriend that I had that was really, really good to me. I've had an unbelievable experience. And if I make this a little bit larger, maybe I can adjust kind of how this is appearing here. It doesn't look like it. Okay, there. Anyways, this site right here, if you haven't checked it out, you're looking at immigrating to Canada, go to this group, Express Entry Law, and request to join. You can see here we've got 21 new member requests. And even though these new member requests come in, Facebook is still not letting me get more than 125,000. So if anyone does not answer the questions, they get declined. So approve, approve. These people are answering the questions. If they have no responses, or if they're close, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. If they've been invited by someone else within the group, I'll approve them. But if they haven't answered any questions, then I decline. I'll approve that person. I'll decline this one. And you can see this is basically how I admit people into the group. Because I don't want spammers here. If you haven't taken the time to answer the questions that were asked, then why in the world would I invite you into the group? I don't know if you're just some, just some troll or something who's looking to cause problems. But generally speaking, if people at least answer some of them, I give them as much benefit of the doubt as I can. But if they don't, I do not let them in. And if they answer with some goofy kind of couple letters, I decline as well, because that just doesn't make any sense. So there you go. So that's the Express Entry Law private Facebook group, and good old Facebook here themselves. Boy, I don't know. I'm getting used to this new look and feel. The Canadian Immigration Institute is where a lot of you are watching this right now. And this is the next best place to watch compared to YouTube. So those of you who love Facebook, this is where you can watch it right here. Here's the live right now. And you can see anyone who's posting questions in here, these will then show up in my feed right now as I'm watching this. All right. So I just wanted to show you guys that and just let you know to stay tuned for a whole bunch of new channels. The live Q&A, like I said, you can see I've changed it now, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time with, yes, me, Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, which I didn't even announce who I was at the beginning. And this one is going to be rough and tumble, all about answering questions and supporting you guys in your journey. Just to start off, I do want to share one thing with you guys. And as we're waiting for people to join in, this is just some thoughts that I had as I was on a hike with my sons just a couple days ago. And I just want to share that with you as I transition to the next phase of our video. So stay tuned and watch this. And as we finally start our true last descent into this beautiful high mountain lake, you're going to see what I mean by this beautiful landscape that I have the privilege of calling home. So that's just a little teaser, because I have this new series of tips on immigration called Wild Tips on Immigration that I'm going to be sharing with all of you, that I've recorded as I've gone to different locations in the Rocky Mountains, different beautiful landscapes, trees, lakes, mountain tops, and I share a short little 2-3 minute segment that's basically a tip on immigration that covers a whole wide area of different topics related to immigration. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's take a look here and see who's tuning in today. All right, so we started at the top here. Igor is saying good vibes to you, my friend. All right, Tolu, you're amazing. Great to have you. Ralph, as always, tuning in from Edmonton. It's so good to have you, Ralph. Vanille says, too early, and this is a good time for India. Okay, it's too early for me. I'm slowly wrapping my mind around. Usually about 1 o'clock, I'm pumped up. I'm ready to go. I'm just kind of waking up a little bit today. Okay, Shaquille, thank you for loving the videos. We've got Marista is tuning in from South Africa. Amazing. Hi to Aria and Elena. Hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. Laura Lee, hi. You know, I had a really good friend in high school whose name was Laura Lee. So, I guess it's possible. Maybe Laura Lee is the Laura Lee that I used to know. All right, Samir, hello to you. Sunny, and make sure you guys tell me where things are happening. Oh, this is a good question. So Muhammad says, no FSW, question. Okay, well, let's take a look here. So I'm going to shift my screen over again, and we're going to pull this up because this is what he's asking. So let's see if we've had a round of invitations today. Okay, let's see if we've got any action. So we click on here, we open it up, and what do we have today? Any changes? August the 20th, right there. Nothing announced yet, my friends. So lots of us were thinking, hey, maybe there's going to be a round of invitations today. August the 20th. It's been, 2 weeks essentially. So you're right. No announcements yet. So we just have to bide our time and see what happens. Maybe it'll come out a little bit later. But at this time, you're right. There has not yet been an FSW draw. So we'll see what happens. If there is, My vote is about 474. That's my vote for the round. All right. I'm doing awesome, Sharath. Good to have you. Nilesh says hello. Hi, Nilesh. Let's see here. Masood says, hey, watching regularly for I don't know how many years now. Love your work. Thank you. That's awesome. Yep. Lots of people. Where's the draw? What's going on with the draw? All these question marks. Yes, everybody's saying that. Edinburgh, welcome, T. Great to have you joining. Assad, you too. I'm trying to give everybody shouts out today. Freddie, Naveen, welcome. And big shout out to Naveen because he's tuning in on Twitter on our Holthe Immigration Law Twitter feed via Periscope. Great to have you connecting. Shahir's over in Saudi Arabia. Great to have you. Emeka, things are going to work out for you, my friend. And I think a lot of people have been watching this. Mashi here has been a follower since the beginning of time. He's been a subscriber of the Canadian Immigration Institute Express Entry Law. Well, what is it? It's the Express Entry step-by-step guide to doing it yourself. And that is, you can actually see, I think, Mashi, I think I may even have you as one of my, as one of the fine testimonials that I did for the course. I can't remember if I've got you. Let's see if I've got you on here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys again here. And this is what this is about. This is all rough and tumble, right? This is all rough and tumble. Let me slide this over a little bit. And so this is just, let's see what others say about it. Of course, 100% money back guarantee. Let's see. There he is. You want to see Mashi? Awesome. Go check out that video testimonial. So like I said before, Mashi is the last person of this amazing group of people here to wait to become a permanent resident. And I'm overdue with asking other people for new updated testimonials because the course has been extremely, extremely popular. But this just so you guys know, and I'll give you guys a shout out now because you guys are watching the live Q&A. Remember, anytime you go here, if you click on Purchase Guide and then you type in the magical code, which is EED, well, let's make sure we got the right one here, EEDIY50. So that's EEDIY50. That will allow you to get 50% off one-time access. Well, not one time. You have permanent access to this version of the Express Entry complete do-it-yourself course. All right. Okay, let's jump back. Like I said, this is a little bit rough and tumble today, but that's okay. All right, we've got Noah who's tuning in from Nigeria. Welcome, Noah. Oh, I love this. We've got Error 404. Welcome. All right. Miriam is over in Turkey. Oh, excellent. Great to have you, Miriam. I love seeing where you guys are tuning in. Oh, I knew, Vikrant, I knew you were going to ask this, my friend. If I could only show you my calendar, show you my schedule. I have been desperately wanting to get the study permit thing out. Today is the day that I work on those things. Every time I say to you guys, I'm going to be creating the DIY study permit course. It's going to get launched. I'm going to do it. Then 100 things come up. One of the things that I did want to share with you guys is this. Let's see if I can open this up and drag it over. Actually, I'll need to pull off. I'm going to just slide off Vikrant here. So it is coming, my friend. It is. Let's see if we can do this. I'm not sure how effective this is going to be here, but I wanted to share this with you guys, which really means an unbelievable amount to me. So just recently I was notified that I was voted on by my peers. So this is only other immigration lawyers across the country voted on the best lawyers. And I was recognized for immigration law in Calgary as one of the lawyers of the year. And there's only a few select individuals across the country that have this honor. And so it means a ton to me to be recognized by my peers. Now, with that being said, and let me just pull this right off, I also have the privilege now of being the national chair. So as of yesterday, I am now serving as the chair of the Canadian Bar Association, basically they're the National Immigration Section. So let's see if I can find this, the National Immigration Section Executive. Let's see if we can pull it up here. There, and I'm going to just share this with you as well. I've got a bunch of different things going on here, but I'll flip this over. So there you go. There's the ugly mug right there. Serving on the executive with some absolutely amazing people. It's such an honor, and I have the privilege of serving for a year. I started yesterday, and I'll be in for a year. Ravi Jain, who was our past chair right here, was exceptional, and I'm never ever going to be able to do everything that he did, but I've got some ideas and some thoughts, and so this is a huge honor, and it's a real privilege, and I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's something that gives me an immense source of pride. And the fun part, as I shift back here again to me, the fun part of this whole process is how much I get paid to do this. I get so much money from being the head of the CBA National Section. I want you guys to post in the comments, and I'm going to shift to the bottom now so that I can actually see your answers. I want you to post in the comments how much you think I get paid for being the chair of the National Canadian Bar Association Immigration Section. So post in the comments how much you think I'm getting paid, because I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. I'll jump down in a second because the comments are quite delayed. Okay, so moving on here. So Era 404 is Morocco. Great to have you. Okay, let's see. We've got a question here from Mauricio. He says, given COVID-19, may a closed work permit holder who applied for an open work permit start working for a new employer while application is in process? No. Simple as that. No, you can't. You have to wait until that new work permit is issued, because implied status only applies to the conditions on your work permit that you previously had. So if someone's in Canada, they're working on a specific work permit for a specific employer, when they submit an application for a new open work permit or something like that, they can't just start working for another employer. Now, it's not always that simple, but from your question, that's the first thing I'm going to tell you is no, you can't. Okay. All right, so let's see how much people think I'm getting paid. This is so fun. All right, let's see. Okay, so Noah says about $15,000 per month. Oh my goodness, I would love that. That would be so awesome. You're so close, so close. Okay, this is hilarious. Vicar says 800K. Seriously? Oh my goodness, that would be unbelievable also, but no. No. Okay, I think it's only responsibility as chair. No monetary value for your position. Naveen, I'm going to give you one of these. Let's see if I can find it right there. Big round of applause. My goodness, although I would love to receive what Vicar has here. Oh my goodness, that'd be so awesome. No, this is a complete and total labor of love. 100%. So... That is so awesome. I love these comments. So Graciela says you get $0, but you enjoy, and it's the personal and professional satisfaction that is the most valuable you could get. Absolutely. The ability to just to influence things on a national level, the ability to help my fellow immigration lawyers, the ability to advocate on behalf of you. That is why I do all of these things. So, yeah, I love these comments. Tom Cruise, Darshan, I wish I was getting this much, you guys. Absolutely. I would ask maybe the people that are running the head of the consultant organization, CAPEC, ask them how much they get paid. So that would be something that would be interesting to find out. I wonder if they all work for free. All right, Vicar, yeah, 20,000 pounds. Oh my goodness, I wish you guys. I love your comments. This is great. Shafa's got it right. Jode says, congratulations, 20K. Oh my goodness. Do you know what I could do if I was actually paid for that role? Oh my goodness, it would be awesome. Okay, thanks so much, guys, for chiming in on that. That was kind of fun. I'm always curious as to what people think, lawyers actually get paid. And that's the fun part. Because when I start to compare what we charge with what consultants charge, you bet there are lawyers that charge a lot of money for their services. They're highly sought after. They're experts in their field. But I can tell you, when I get feedback from my consults, from people who've used immigration consultants, my goodness, the fees that I charge, I can speak for myself, are often lower than what they've been paying their immigration consultants. But who am I? I'm just an immigration lawyer that's been practicing for about 16 years, a former immigration officer. I worked with the hearings officers when they were doing administrative appeals. When I was going through law school. Let's see, I am the national chair of the Canadian Bar Association. But hey, what do I offer? I have nothing more to offer, right, than any consultant. So hey, it's all good. I'm not driven by money, but I can guarantee that on both sides of the equation, lawyers and consultants, there are. And would I love to have more money? Absolutely I would, but not at your expense, guys. Not at your expense. And I'm figuring out ways every day on how I can provide better services to you. Okay, let's keep going through here. Emeka, once again, he says, great seeing you, gives me a ray of hope, which I gave a shout out for him. Let's keep going. Good morning, Jamie. Good to have you. Anis, it's great to have you. First time joining the live chat. Very, very cool. Hello, Jihad from Morocco. John Carter, when will the borders open, sir? We know that the travel restrictions have been extended to the end of September, when either a virus is formulated that we can, a vaccine that can combat the virus has been developed and is successful for immunizing people. That's one way that I see the borders opening. Obviously, there's waves. And with all of our children, especially in Canada and the US and other countries where we realize, look, we can't keep these kids from going back to school. When those things are all, the risk of infection, when the rates of infection are starting to dip and get fully under control, that's when I think the borders are going to start opening. Now, remember, there are different restrictions. If you're outside of Canada, you have to fit into one of the exceptions. If you're in the US, you just have to show that your entry is non-optional, non-discretionary. So those, remember, it depends on where you're coming from. Okay. Okay, this is a perfect example here. So Gurdeep says, hey, Mark, please go over my case. I applied for PNP paper base. I added my spouse. So I haven't any update from almost 6 months. Okay, so this right here, understand nothing is going quickly, my friend. And normally I would probably do this, ring the bell and say, Gurdeep, this is actually a specific legal question that relates to your situation. And it's not something that I would ever dare answer. The key to making this successful is that I can provide helpful information that doesn't create a solicitor-client relationship where I'm not advising you and giving you specific legal advice. But I can tell you, Gurdeep, in your situation, everybody's applications have stalled out. I wish that it was going faster. The paper base are not a priority, especially the PNP applications. They're starting to do some spouses, but the PNPs are languishing. I've got many clients who filed paper-based PNPs who needed those acknowledgement of receipts. They needed that confirmation letter to apply for the bridging open work permit. And it's just not happening. Now, I've had some creative ideas and thoughts on how to deal with it. I've helped people file applications with temporary resident permits, requesting that the bridging open work permit be issued, notwithstanding the fact that they don't have the acknowledgement of receipt. We've done web inquiries to see if they've received the file and maybe just haven't given us the notification yet because they can't, but they do have a record of it. You know, we've tried a whole bunch of different things. And so Gurdeep, I just recommend that you consider maybe booking a consult so that we can look at it. And I think you guys know, if I just flip back here, that we have, I'm going to bump this up so you guys can see it. Right here, if you click on the Start Here button, you have the opportunity to connect with me, to retain our firm. And if you looked at my calendar right now, you would see that it is really, really full. In fact, yesterday, my day started at 6 a.m. as I was reviewing an application for a client that needed to get out. I worked till probably about 7 o'clock last night, and I'm slowly trying to sort out the inflow of people that want to retain my services. And one thing you're going to see here that I'm super excited about is that if you go to my homepage, and actually if you go to our team right here, I am not the only lawyer in my firm. In fact, I am frantically trying to get some of the best immigration lawyers in the country to come join me and work with our firm. Lawyers that I trust, lawyers that I know are going to give you the same amount of support that, well, in the case of Susan here, you can see here, and in the case of Alicia, who's just joined me here, they're both smarter than I am. So the key for my success is hiring lawyers that are better lawyers than me, to help you guys. So within here, remember, I am here, but I also have Susan and Alicia, who are every bit as capable of helping me. So some of you will go and you'll book a consult and you may not be able to get into me as fast as you need. Well, understand we have Susan and Alicia here who can help you. And what Igor and I are working on right now is a way to allow you to choose instantly, and this came back from our clients, to be able to go in, see the calendars, and book your appointment and pay for it all at one time and choose the lawyer. And you can see the availability we have so that if you have an urgent matter, you can instantly choose who you want to work with. And it's all designed to ensure, and if I look here, and I can't remember if I even have it listed, but the whole process of what we do here is all about clients. And our motto when it comes to clients is it's all about being collaborative. And to a large extent, the theme, and I guess the mission, is that we are a firm that is client-centered, firm-supported. And that's the best way to describe it. It's collaborative. Who are our clients? Well, they're you guys, right? They're DIYers at heart who understand the value of hiring an immigration lawyer for support, but don't want to relinquish control of your application. We've heard the horror stories of people whose applications they think are filed and never even got filed by their representative. So they're people who love the idea of a more efficient, and I'm just reading right off the site, collaborative, cost-effective approach that eliminates the inconvenience of time-consuming trips to the lawyer's office. Heck, we're a global firm and we're based here in Canada. Simply put, and this is my favorite part right here, you can see, simply put, and I'm going to highlight it, our clients want to get their application approved the first time and are willing to do their part to make this happen. And so that's one of the reasons why I created the firm, was to develop something that was going to work in a way that made it more affordable and accessible to people so that every single person who is applying for immigration has the right to access an immigration lawyer to help them. They don't have to settle for anything less. So there you go. All right, let's keep jumping on to get some more questions here. Okay, Sazad says, hey, I have a visitor visa. Is it possible to extend it in study permit after coming to Canada? Study permits right now, there's been so many rule changes. What you have to understand is if you are, you say you've got a visitor visa, the biggest issue is not even the question you're asking here. The question that you really have to answer is, how are you going to get through the travel restrictions? So even if you were here and you decided to apply for a study permit from within Canada, understand it's getting here. And it's almost impossible even for a student right now who has a school that is offering online courses to be able to come even when they have the study permit, because they have to show that that entry is non-optional, non-discretionary, that student, if they have a study permit, they fit within the exemption to travel, but they have to convince a CBSA officer that there's an actual need for them to be here. If you can take the classes online, then there's no point in then traveling at this time. That's the position they take. So in your situation, Sazad, it's really a matter of, can you get admitted to a school? And ultimately, when it comes to applying for that study permit, you can submit it, but you have the ability to start online for many programs in Canada. That's a whole different discussion. I'm not going to waste much time talking about it, but that's really what the question is. How are you going to get here in the first place? And if you're here, well, really, that's really the question. Okay. Chaudhry says, why isn't there a draw today? Good question. You can see people think they've got it all figured out, but the government can do whatever they want. Who knows why they didn't? Maybe they had a technical glitch and it's going to be released tomorrow. Maybe they've decided to hold off a week because they're trying to process the applications they have. Hard to say. Okay. Okay, so this one here, I'll actually pull up Ibrahim and I'm going to do my little thing here. I'm just going to ring this little bell. That means it's legal advice, Ibrahim. So yes, software engineer, you make good money per year, been in Saudi, bachelor's degree, what chances? Dude, you need to go right here to this site and you need to book a consult with me. And then I can actually go through and give you advice. What am I doing here? I'm clicking the wrong buttons here. You need to go to the start here button and you actually need to book a consult so that we can talk about your specific circumstances. That is so common. I get a lot of those questions. So Ibrahim, Yes, no, I can't give you legal advice now because I just don't know enough about you in order to be able to give you direction. Okay, Noah says, hey, do you think there's any hope for visitors to come to Canada this year? Or should we just take our hopes till next year? In all honesty, Noah, I don't think there is any hope of visitors coming this year. There's no correction with this whole virus. There's constant second waves, third waves that are coming through. I wouldn't bank on it, no, I really wouldn't. Okay. What do you think of a CRS 451? If you're an FSW, not going to get through. Any chance of getting PNP French stream? Well, the reality is if you've got French and you can study and you can score high in French, that may make the difference. If you, as a French speaker, if that's the case, are only at 451 right now, it's going to be really tough. And we just don't know what the OINP is going to do or some of the other provinces with that. Okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to pull this one up. This is important. Okay, Sam says, an immigration consultant offered me something illegal. How to complain against him? Is there a point of complaining? I have his text messages. Is that a proof? You know what, Sam? What I'd like to say is, here's what you do. You can complain and something will actually happen. And this is where I'll call out the regulator of consultants. If Sam reaches out to you, are you actually going to do anything about this? I can't tell you how often, even locally in my own community, there's an immigration consultant who employed people illegally, who exploited them, who had a business on the side. They were reported. You know, I have heard absolutely nothing from the regulator on this. And this is where that individual had actually, as a consultant, broken the rules of the foreign worker program and had used her position to take advantage of people. And when it started to come forward, she just kind of brushed it off and said, oh, a little bit of a fine. There is no fear. Consultants don't fear their regulator. They basically can operate with impunity. You can file a complaint and it will slowly, hopefully work its way through the system. What do you do? Well, I guess I can try to show you guys. I'll share my screen with you again. We'll go back here and let's see if we can help our friend here. So let's see if we can find, let's just do this. Consultant, complaint, what are they called? ICCRC, maybe? Let's see. Complaints. Okay, I think maybe this is it. It was pretty easy to find. It should be actually really easy to find given the number of complaints that are given. So here's how you do it. This is how you can file a complaint. And I'll be honest, I actually hope that you're going to have an ability to get some results, because this happens all the time. Selling job offers, selling, you know, basically these fake tickets to Canada. And it's really, really upsetting, even more so if this consultant is a regulated consultant. But, and actually if I flip back here, you'll see that and as you watch the little instructional video here, which I haven't watched, you'll see that if you file a complaint and this consultant, immigration consultant, is not regulated, then ICCRC just says it's not our problem. We can't control that. And that's fine, but I have my own opinion on that. The unauthorized practice of law, I can tell you the law societies go after that with intensity, but ICCRC at this stage just doesn't have any desire. They say we have no tools to be able to do it. Well, you've got a lot of money, ICCRC. You have a lot of money that's been funneled in from the thousands and thousands of new consultants that you have. So why don't you apply that to actually enforcing? And I wish that the association is going to, you know, that things are going to improve, that the new education standards with Queen's Law, who's now going to be offering the programming, is going to work out. But boy, I'll tell you guys, I just got a call from my cousin who says that one of the schools in Calgary is pumping through as fast as they can, as many consultants as they can, to get as much money as they can before they can no longer offer those education programming. And I can tell you, someone who goes and takes an evening class for 6 months through one of these little private colleges is not equipped to represent people. The standards are just, it's just scary. That's all I have to say. So, wow, I get off on these tangents. So I wish, Sam, you could see there, this is where you go. You can just go to this site and ICCRC, and hopefully that can help you, and hopefully you get some results. But I encourage you guys to complain. Part of the problem is you guys. You guys are part of the problem. One, you tolerate this. You tolerate using people that mess up your lives, and then you don't complain about it. If a lawyer screws up your file, then I recommend that you report them. That's why the regulator is there. So if they're supposed to be regulating themselves and they're not doing it, then they have no business even being authorized. But I hope things work out, and I hope that things continue to improve with the Consultant Association. But at this stage, it's been really, really disappointing from a public protection standpoint. Okay, let's see who else here. Okay, so this one here. Okay, let's see if we can help Chitin here. Currently in Canada, work permit. My wife is also on a work permit with me in Canada. Due to COVID, my wife's ECA is still pending and I'm missing points. Can I go for a spouse non-accompanying? Okay, this one I'm able to spin off, so I'm not going to need to hit my little triangle here. But what I am going to say for you, Chitin, is that if you're in Canada already, it's really, really difficult to convince an officer that you're not accompanying. There may be possibilities of saying, look, I'm here, yes, but I have every intention of going back home as the spouse, right? As the spouse, I have to go back with my parents because they need me, and I have to take care of other affairs, and I'm just not in a position to come with my spouse right now. Maybe that's the rationale. But if you're already in Canada and you're trying to indicate that you're non-accompanying so that your spouse can get more points, wow, for CRS, it's going to be a really, really tough thing to obtain. Okay, hello over in India, and we've got another Srinavis is India. That's great. Okay, all right. So this one here, some people, if you're posting a question, please understand if I bypass your question, in some cases it's because it fits into this category of legal advice. General questions are what we're looking for here. Okay, guys. All right. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So here. Okay. So let's see what Laura Lee says here. She's the principal applicant on her express entry application. Husband got a work permit for a shorter time due to his passport. Can he apply for a bridge work permit or an open work permit? Okay, so this when work permits are issued for a shorter period of time, sometimes there is an ability to extend those once the new passport is obtained. But I need more information, Laura Lee. And once again, I encourage you to book a consult. In a short little consult, we can answer that for you and give you the direction. I need to know more information about it. Let me give you an example. People who are on LMIA-based work permits who maybe when they were first issued the work permit, their passport was expiring and it was only issued for a year. Well, even long after, you can extend often that work permit based on the LMIA, the original LMIA, because that's what it was issued for. It's a separate application. I need more information about your situation, Laura Lee, in order to assist. Okay. Okay, let's see here. We've got some big, long questions from some people here. And of course, you guys know I'm going to be skipping past those ones. Okay. All right, so next here, Shamod says, hey, Mark, are there any chances of rejection after receiving a right of permanent residence fee payment request? Well, understand all the way up to the point where you actually become a permanent resident, whether you're in Canada and you get that magical email that says, congratulations, you're a permanent resident, or whether you're outside and you're coming in and completing your permanent residence, your landing process at a port of entry, there's always a chance that your application could be rejected. So let me give you an example. Let's say you are going through express entry and you fly directly into Montreal in Quebec and you say, and they ask for your address and you say, it's right downtown Montreal. I'm living with my family here. Well, an officer at that port of entry could reject and refuse to land you and notify IRCC and have your whole permanent resident application unraveled, even after everything was done. Why? Because with express entry, you have to demonstrate an intention to live in a province outside of the province of Quebec. So Quebec doesn't participate. So that's just an example, Shamod. All right, let's see here. Welcome, Liliana. Good to see you again from Germany. Thanks for tuning in. Cheating, don't have a clue if there's going to be a draw. We'll see. Okay, so people are asking about processing times once again. I know how hard it is. Really, immigration from the standpoint of processing, I must admit I'm a little bit disappointed with their ability to have their officers working remotely. There's lots of issues, there's lots of challenges, but we've been almost 6 months here or longer now. And you would think that there would have been a mechanism or an ability to have more officers work remotely, but I don't work inside the department, so I can't speak to it. But this is what you're experiencing here. I've got work permits that have been pending for a long time. You say it was 6 weeks. Will it take longer? Wow, I've had clients in the US, professionals looking to come to Canada with their work permits that are not considered to be essential services that have been pending since March. So since before the pandemic. So understand, this is just part of the life that we're living right now. Okay, let's see what we have here. This one is from Pearl. She says, I'm on a work permit in Canada. I'm looking forward to applying for my PR soon. I'd like to know at the time of application, do I need to show my bank balance from my home country? When you apply for your profile, you're submitting that you have, that the information you're submitting is true and correct. And one of the things it often asks in the profile is how much money you have. So if you don't have that money, even at the stage when you submit your profile, well, you have to be careful with that. Ultimately, it's the EAPR that is the critical stage. When you submit your electronic application for permanent residence, you have to indicate that how much money you have and provide your bank account statements. So it's at that stage where you actually have to prove it. But I always advise my clients, if you're submitting your permanent resident, your express entry profile, and you're saying that you have $20,000 Canadian in your account and you don't have any, well, that's not technically a misrepresentation. It's 100% a misrep. So that's what I advise my clients. Okay. Yeah, everybody's saying, why was there no round of invitations? No draw, what's going on? Still no draw, what's with that? Understand, IRCC has the ability to determine how many they're going to take in and how many they're not. Now, we know that the levels planning, immigration is well below what they expect to take in for new immigrants every year. And one of the fun parts of the Canadian Bar Association and being the chair is being involved in drafting submissions back to immigration with our suggestions and thoughts on what we should do with levels planning. Because the economy is so weak right now because of the virus, do we scale back the number of immigrants that we bring in? Or do we actually shoot for more next year because of the deficit that we fell behind this year? And what does that mean if they say, yes, we're going to try to catch up and get back on track with the number of immigrants that we have coming in? What does that mean? Well, it means that the CRS score is going to go down. So it is entirely possible that if they open up the coffers and start admitting 5,000 people per round of invitation, then by its very nature, it's going to cause the comprehensive ranking system to go down. So we'll see what happens. I think as immigration lawyers, we believe that we should maintain the levels planning that the government has set in place. And what is levels planning? It's basically how many immigrants that they allow in from each different type of category, family class, economic, and a lot of it is political for sure. But ultimately, if the government said we're going to try to catch up next year, then it's possible the comprehensive ranking system scores could start to go down. Okay. All right. There's just so many here. Let's see. Yeah, there's so many people posting. I'm going to skip past everybody that's saying, why is there no draw? I think I've talked about it a lot. Okay, let's see here. And people have also been multiple posting, which makes it a little bit tricky as I'm sifting through all of the questions. Okay. All right, let's see what we can get here. Okay, and yes, people have frustration. It's really frustrating that IRCC is not finalizing outline applicants. Any news regarding them finalizing outline applicants? Understand, until the travel restrictions are lifted, IRCC sees no point in finalizing applications only to see your permanent resident visa and your confirmation of permanent residence expire because you can't board and travel. So they would rather not issue those until the travel restrictions are lifted. So that's why. Okay, this is a good question here. So I had a consult recently with a client in Canada who was telling me about this magical program, and maybe they're watching, maybe they're not, who was telling me about this magical program that on the surface appeared to allow people who are here as visitors in Canada to transition to the live-in caregiver program without any experience at all. And when I spoke to them, I was not aware of any way someone who had no experience, just because they're here, either worker or visitor status, to get into this pilot program when you do not have any experience in caregiving. And at the time, I was not aware of anything like that. When I go in and I look at the website and I read the information on the caregiver pilot, this unique kind of program, there is an indication or a suggestion that that may very well be the case. And the thing that kind of breaks my heart with this, it's the same thing for all the PNP programs, is that there's this faint hope that's created, when in reality, the number of spots that are actually allocated for those caregivers is minuscule, these frontline workers. And so there's this perception for this couple who were desperate, and they were very upset with me because I couldn't give them any information on the consult. As always, if someone is unsatisfied with what I do, I gave them their money back. And I told them, I said, look, I'm not aware of how this is going to work for you. And I said to them, but when you read the instructions, it gives the impression that this could possibly work. So they're grasping at whatever they could get their hands on. So I know for a fact, someone out there, I don't know, who the representatives are. Normally it tends to be consultants who deal a lot with caregivers, but someone out there is proposing to them that this is this pathway. I never asked how much money they're going to have to pay this person, and they still need an employer who's willing to hire them. And they had very, very little time. In fact, less than a week. And so it broke my heart, because people are desperate to stay. And anyone who holds up even the faintest hope takes their money, and then they're left worse off. And I said, you know what? Let me know in 6 months' time how things pan out. And that program on the surface does give the impression that it could work. But I can tell you from my experience, I would never, ever pursue it. And like I said, the quotas are so low. But you know what? As an immigration lawyer, sometimes the answers I give people are not ones that they want. And people don't like that. But I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give you legal advice that's actually going to allow you to make decisions that are long-term going to be in your best interest. So there we go. So good question. Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, here's a good question. So Masood says, hey, I got this pre-arrival letter before my meds for my paper PR application. How is it possible? This is very, very common. Those pre-arrival letters will go out before applications are finalized all the time. And they just mean that now's the time to start thinking about what you want to do, to take a look at these pre-arrival services. And they are awesome, you guys. They're really, really good. Really good. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead to people who are tuning in a little bit later now. There's so many there's been so many questions that have been posted, and it's obviously impossible for me to get to all of them. But this is what this is all about. It's kind of a rough and tumble kind of process. Okay, let's see what we have here. So this one is Makurier says, I'm currently on an open work permit but about to expire, and I lost access to the account. So I can reapply through it. What would you recommend me to do? Okay, I'm not sure how you would have lost access to your account, but if you need to create a new one, then you may have to recreate everything to get your application submitted if if you're trying to submit a new work permit application. Okay. Felice says, hey, is there any plan to change the status of outland spousals to have open work permit like inland? Are there any laws? No. At this stage, understand the whole process of the in Canada that's the advantage to filing from within Canada, is the availability of the open work permit. The outside, because it's both for people inside Canada and outside Canada, they're simply not going to open up that option, at least at this stage, because they don't want to basically afford anyone outside of Canada a temporary right to come that is reserved for people within. And all of the policy considerations around that are very, very, well, they're just multifaceted. And so at this stage, there's no indication that they can make any changes that they want. Let me qualify this. They can make any changes that they want to the programs, but that's one that I don't see happening anytime soon, just for that very nature. All right. This person says you get paid with love. Absolutely, I do. And I want you guys to know that I truly feel it. Like, I feed off of you. You guys are awesome. You are so kind to me. You come on, you ask really good questions. You create the opportunity to make this so amazing. And without a doubt, I don't need a penny from this. This, just having this opportunity to interact with you guys is so important. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So Tolu says, I received my GCMS notes and it states review required on previous visa refusals. That is the only reason for review required. Will this cause a delay on my application? Tolu, if you haven't declared or disclosed a prior refusal, understand that this could mean the difference between your application getting approved and it being rejected and you being found to have misrepresented and getting a 5-year ban. This is a massive issue, Tolu. If you want to book a consult, we can talk about it, but wow, time is not an issue. Delay is not an issue. What's at issue here is whether or not horrible consequences are going to flow. Okay, let's keep going here. Yeah, and then we have another person here who's talking about processing times. Yeah, so for us, the reality is processing times are just skyrocketing. And there's not a lot that we can do about it right now. It just is what it is. Kazim says, please answer my question. I checked your website and want to book a consult. Go ahead, Kazim. That's the best way to get specific legal advice, is to go through and to submit it. All right. Let's see here. Victor's up in YYC in Calgary. Welcome. Let's see. Baninder says, you earn blessings from people like me with every video. You are not only a lawyer, but an angel too for people like us. Baninder, thank you. Guys, I don't think, like, it's so hard because the thing I love most about this channel is the fact that I can actually be honest with you. I'm not perfect. It's not, it's not like I'm this perfect immigration lawyer who never makes mistakes. No one is perfect. But the one thing that I can confirm unequivocally is that no one cares as much about the work I do for my clients as I do. There may be a lot of people that care as much as I do, but I can absolutely guarantee that no one cares more than I do. And with that process, with that thought process in mind, when I do representation, it's not easy. That's why I got up at 6 a.m. yesterday to try to help one of my many clients get their OINP application submitted. That's why I stay late. That's why I have no disposable time right now. It's because I'm trying to navigate my way through all of the consults that are now coming in. But I want you to know that the lawyers that I hire to work within my firm care every bit as much as I do. And so when you reach out and you say, I want to consult with Mark, but Mark's not available and the time slots that you need, do not hesitate to choose one of the other lawyers. And you will see, in many cases, you will see, wow, Mark's pretty good, but Alicia is phenomenal. Susan is awesome. So, and we're actively looking to grow. So if you're watching this, you're an immigration lawyer across the country, wherever you are, and you're looking for a new opportunity to work in a cool firm, reach out. All right, we're just going to wrap up here. Okay, looks like Liliana says she's lost with booking a consult. I can't see the payment link. It's not there yet, Liliana. In fact, it's 11:01 Mountain Time right now, and Igor and I are going to go in and we're going to make some changes to the site right now that will allow people to then choose and see exactly what we're talking about. So it's not there yet, but it's okay. If you go in and you just follow the drop downs, it will take you to the consult request form. And in there, you can indicate in the box, I'd like a consult with Mark or Susan or Alicia. So keep that into consideration. All right. Well, there's been just an unbelievable amount of questions. As I go forward, I did want to share one thing as a wrap up with everybody who's been watching, and we've got a great group of people that are watching. I want to share something with you. And this is why I love my country, okay? This is why I love Canada. So we know how crazy things have been in the midst of this pandemic. We know it has not been fun. It has been quite a miserable experience. Okay, well, here's why, and this is what I want to show you, and ignore these It looks like we've got a bunch of ads that I should have turned off, but somehow they didn't get turned off. But here's what I want to share with you guys. I'm going to flip my screen over. American tourist faces jail and a 500G, which is 500,000 Canadian dollar fine for violating Canada's coronavirus restrictions. So this person from Kentucky had stopped off in Banff, which is Alberta. He had been warned that he needed to just transit through because he was headed to allegedly Alaska. But in the end, the individual did not. They stopped, went to tourist sites. They ignored the RCMP and a fine that they had received in the beginning. And can you imagine that? And now even potential jail time is the possibility. That's how serious Canada takes the coronavirus. And that's how serious we as a country are about our own people. We care about one another. Our universal health care it's not perfect, but it's universal. No one goes without that essential care that they need. And when we are here in Canada making massive sacrifices to close our businesses, our livelihoods, to protect our neighbors' health, well, we take individuals who flaunt that very, very seriously. And the US, fine, do whatever you need to do, but it's really hard when we see, this whole back and forth with the border. And absolutely, Canadians are not perfect at all. There's individuals that go down into the US, but really, you can hop on a plane and fly. No quarantining when you get there. Canada has these rules in place for a reason. And they're unbelievably serious, as you can see from this $500,000 fine that is in the process of being alleged. At least that's the maximum fine that could be imposed. So not sure exactly where that's at. All right. Other than that, guys, as always, I want to jump on. And like I said at the beginning here, there's going to be some changes to the Canadian Immigration Institute YouTube channel. Watch for the development of future playlists down here that are all categorized by the type of question or area of immigration that you're looking for. The live Q&As are going to be Wednesdays at 10 a.m. So come here, join me, ask your questions. And if for whatever reason your questions, I don't get to them, then for example, with Facebook, you can see here when people are asking questions. And if I go to the main page, let's see if I can find the Canadian Immigration Institute. I guess I'm here. Oh, this new YouTube is just really, really tricky. So the people who are watching the live, here it is right here, who post questions below, I look at these. And if I have not had a chance to get to your question, it may very well form a part of a brand new short teaching moment that I'm going to release on the Canadian Immigration Institute YouTube channel. So don't be too disheartened if I'm not able to get to all your questions. Watch this channel, come back, subscribe, tell your friends about it. That's why I'm creating it. The more reach I can have, the better. The more people I can help avoid the most common pitfalls. That is why I do what I do. All right. Other than that, I think we've covered pretty much everything else. As we refresh the page, we take a look here. Has there been any changes since we've been here? Nope. It's still sitting August the 20th, round 161. Round 161. So there's been no changes with that. All right. And then the last part, I guess I'll go back here and I'll jump back to my Canadian Immigration Institute, letting all of you guys know, yes, I need to create that study permit one. It's been sitting 3/4 of the way done for far too long. But these do-it-yourself guides are designed to help you guys navigate your way through this. And they're not guides really, they're courses. And my most popular course right now is my Express Entry DIY do-it-yourself course to navigating through Express Entry. And it's full of every possible tip, strategy, a complete walkthrough of the profile, how to complete it. I actually demonstrate with video on how to do these things. And I think at this stage, I probably am not able to give you a quick demonstration, but if you type in EEDIY 50, if you are late coming to the game, and just to make it more visible here, EEDIY 50, and you click apply, you get 50% off this lifetime access to this version of the course. $248.50 US is what it is. And you can learn lots more about it. I'll give you guys a quick little show here as I log in, and I think I should be able to log in. Oh, seriously, forget it. I'm not going to show you because I can never remember my own password to get through the back door. Anyways, that's the course. Check it out. It's there for you. And as a little fun ending, I'm going to share, as I said in the beginning, a little activity that I did with my family, and you'll get a chance to see our family when I show this for you guys. So, Vikar, it's been a pleasure. You are very, very welcome. And I'll leave you with a little video that I did with my family, and let's see if I can find it right here. All right, take care, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time, 10 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. This is Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher, saying goodbye and good luck as you navigate this crazy world that we call Canadian immigration. Take care. This is where it was all burned out, and the beautiful grass is growing up all around it. The forest fire here took out all of these trees. But when trees get burned, that's life.
Can we go to Payne after this as well?
This is what you gotta do when you don't have a GoPro. This. And you can see the symbol of the beaver. And this. Well, that may not be as easy as it sounds, but wild tip from Simba. Falls. Cheers, Canadian style. Boom.
Simba, come here. After me.